All right, Joe, this is your show.
Welcome to the Kiwi Effect. This is the first actual episode that we're going to be airing. I'm here today with Nick Mirabella. For the people that don't know you, tell them about yourself.
All right, I guess you call me an entrepreneur. I own several hair salons, 2 e-commerce stores. I specialize in hair services, obviously, and beauty products. And I had a great entrepreneurial journey so far. I tried a lot of things out in life, and I'm working with Joe right now. Joe's in a mentorship program at high school, so he's, been blessed to come hang out with me a lot. So, with Joe, I were to just put him on payroll and let him work, right? That's not teaching him anything about being an entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur rather. So we worked something out where he had a bunch of products. I had a bunch of products that I had lying around that I just couldn't sell or didn't have the bandwidth to sell. So I was like, all right, you want to be an entrepreneur? Here you go. Sell them.
Yeah.
And it's been fun kind of like hanging out with Joe, talking to him, and seeing the struggles of someone. And Joe's young. Joe's, 18 years old?
18, yep.
So it's admirable to see him want to take on this journey. And at the same time, it's fun to watch someone at his age deal with the struggles you had to deal with at 18 years old. I'm still 29 years old, and now I'm quite older than 18. But there's a lot of things that I wish I had learned when I was 18 that would help me along this journey. So I'm doing the best I can to, the old saying is, if you give someone a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach them how to fish, they eat fish forever. Or they can, eat forever. So that's kind of like my whole take on this relationship. And so Joe has this Kiwi effect that he's trying to get running. So I'm his first interview. All right. So Joe, what do you got here?
So the first thing I want to talk about is work-life balance. And for those that don't know what that is, it's how you balance your work life of you, like your job, whatever you do, and how you balance your personal life, your social life, your party life, whatever you want to call it.
I think we actually did a mock take on this last week.
Yeah.
Joe had asked me the question. I think you actually asked me the question just in general, just talking.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance work and life? And if you are a new entrepreneur and you're just starting out, there is no balance for work and life. I'm sorry. I hope I don't shatter anyone's hearts and dreams. But there is a silver lining in this particular, my take on it. You should love what you're doing, right? You should be happy at what you do, and you should enjoy it. If you're trying to be successful at something, and the example I always give is great athletes like Kobe Bryant. There was no balance with his work life, right? His work was basketball. He practiced before practice. He practiced after games. He was undeniably one of the hardest workers in the NBA, and he was successful because of it. Now, the business world is very much like a sport, and that's a comparison I give it to. And as an entrepreneur, you have to outwork your competition. Mm-hmm. You have to outwork everyone in this game in order to be successful. You have people who are going to be hungrier than you, who have access to the internet, who have the ability to have all the free time in the world because they're not being inundated with the things that you think are inundating you. They don't have a group of friends that want to go skiing, or a group of friends that want to play basketball or smoke weed or go to parties, right? They're stuck in some village somewhere with internet access, only building their website or selling their product. Yeah. So they already have, quote unquote, more time than you. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Now, you can start freeing up your time if you are able to focus more on your end result. You could create the illusion of more time if you're less worried on tasks, right? If you're less focused on doing a task and more focused on the outcome. So what is it? What is the activity you're working on right now? And if that not you, I'm just asking. I'm just asking in general. Mm-hmm. Is that activity going to help you get closer to your end goal? You understand?
Yeah.
So, and if it's not, if you can be offloaded by somebody else, then offload it to somebody else, right? Clicking through email or scrolling through Instagram is an activity that's not going to get you to your goal.
Definitely.
So you're wasting time. If you do need entertainment and you do need a relief and to chill out because you're overworked, block it in there, schedule in there. Yeah. But you know what? I know right around 3 o'clock, I get stressed. I get burnt out. So every day at 3, take a walk around the building. Get some sunlight.
Yeah.
Do something. Do a quick 10-minute workout. Something to get you back in state again so you can get focused for the next part of the day. And if you could block those times out so your alarm goes off, boom, 3 o'clock, you might feel great at 3 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
But then if you don't take that break, historically, if you know at 3:10 you're going to get tired, or sometime around then you're going to get tired. If you just take your own advice, 3 o'clock is your time to break, you get up, do a lap around the building, I would probably get away from a computer if that's what you're focused on, and a lot of your work is on the computer. Do some jump jacks, take a look at your goals again at 3 o'clock, do a quick 10-minute workout, look at what your end goals are, revisit your why, Like, why do you have such high expectations for yourself? Why are your dreams so big? And it could be because you want to make sure your kids are never going to starve. You want to create a better life for your family. You want to buy your mom a house.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you grew up rather broke, a lot of athletes do this. One of their biggest things they do is they buy their mom a house. You always hear those stories. If you keep focusing on your why, when you get tired, you'll realize you're really not that tired.
Yeah.
And I know I probably went off on your work-life balance. If you get everything accomplished throughout your day and you're focused and you're disciplined, you could schedule in your playtime.
Yeah.
But you should be so driven and focused on accomplishing your goals that it's almost fun. It's a game.
Yeah.
And once you start mastering manifestation and visualizing your goals and realizing it, once you hit your small goals, you're like, wow, this is really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing this. Like when you sold the product.
Yeah.
Like Joe has the website and he sold the product and it's like, it's invigorating. You get like a recharge. It's like a big boost to your battery, and then you want to work even harder. So that's why it's so important to have these goals, and more importantly, have your why. And then you will never need that work-life balance because everything you're doing is to balance out your life. If that makes any sense to anyone, I hope I didn't ramble.
Yeah. I think a lot of people need to put more goals in their life. I feel like so many people these days are just mindlessly just traveling and just doing whatever comes to them, and they're not attacking life.
Yeah, goals are super important. People think they have goals, but the goals they have aren't goals. They're just like wishes. So if you want to lose weight, all right, you lost a pound, good. You're done. You hit your goal, right? If you want to make more money, I'll give you $1. You just made more money. You're done, right? You should have a goal. I want to be 10% body fat. I want to be 180 pounds and put a deadline on it. I want to be 180 pounds and 10% body fat by August 2nd, 2023. And every day you should have an alarm on your phone when you're supposed to go to the gym that sends you that message. And you should be thinking about now again, to focus on your why. If that is my goal, what's my why for that goal? For me personally, it's to be able to dance with my daughter at her wedding. It's to be healthy enough to walk her down the aisle, right? I'm an old dad right now. I can't say I'm an old dad. I'm just older than most fathers who have 3-month-old babies at this point. And if I don't take care of my body, she may be getting married 30 years from now, right? She's still young. I want to be in good enough shape to dance with her at that wedding. I want to be healthy enough that I'm not on prescription medications. I don't need any doctors in my life. I don't believe in that shit. So when I'm like, I'm too tired for the gym, I also want to dance at my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
That's inspirational as fuck. Like that's going to get me up and go to the gym. Even if it's an okay workout, at least I accomplished something to get me towards that goal. Definitely. And if your why isn't strong enough, you'll never get to your goal.
Yeah.
People have, like I said, these wishes. And then what that does is, and a lot of this stuff, I didn't come up with my own. A lot of this has been incorporated from like Tony Robbins, incorporated from Wayne Dyer, and incorporated from like Jim Rome and a bunch of motivational speakers. And like, this is proven techniques that people have done throughout years. Tony has something called the Massive Action Plan. And I've always said this to people. Nowadays we have phones, right? You have navigation on your phone. You have Google Maps, Waze, whatever you use. If you put in your end destination, Google Maps or whatever you use will get you to the end destination. If there's traffic, you can reroute around traffic. If there's construction, you can reroute around construction. Just like obstacles in life. Someone passes away in your family. You have something fail in a business. You get hacked on your computer, your website. Things will happen in business. If you don't have that end destination in there, you're going to completely go off course and never be able to reroute again. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about having that map, right, that massive action plan, is when you do reroute and you have to go around a detour, you might see a beautiful sunset. You might find an amazing restaurant. So use these tools, like these maps, these massive action plans, as something like, and relate it to something you do today. Like, you wouldn't go somewhere you don't know how to get there today in 2023 without putting it in your navigation. Yeah. Or without knowing how to get there or having written down directions, right? Most people today put it in their navigation and then they go. Yeah. So why not do that in your work life?
Yeah. I don't remember who said it, but when you have a goal and you plot out how you're going to get to that goal, that's no longer a goal. That's just straight up a plan.
Beautiful. Yeah. If you fail to plan to fail.
Exactly.
These are all things that we all heard before. And the problem is nobody takes action on them because we are so distracted. Part of the distraction is people who need a work-life balance, right? Because what do? You hang out with your friends. You want the work-life balance. You're a little burnt out. So you either participate in any kind of drugs or drinking, and then you get a little hungover, and the next day you're like, I'm not going to work out today. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z for my business. And then 2 days go by and 3 days go by. And then what did you lose? You lost momentum.
Yeah.
And then what happened now? The person who's not partying with their friends has 4 days on you.
Yeah.
And then when that happens next week, he's got 8 days on you.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, he's got a year and a half on you because he's working 80 hours a week, not 40 hours a week. And then next thing you know, just lost the game of business.
Yeah.
So make sure you are intelligently taking breaks and having work-life balance. And the balance that you're doing should add value to your life.
Yeah.
Not take value away. I'm not saying don't hang out with your friends. Hanging out with your friends is great. But if you're sitting there gossiping about nonsense, or listen, and I've done my fair share of partying too. It's not like I haven't. And I probably would be a lot further in life than I am right now had I not maybe been so distracted at your age. I have a ton of great experiences though. I'll tell you that. I mean, I had a lot of fun. But, and those experiences now I harnessed. And the nice thing about having those experiences is I don't ever have any regret. So now when I work so hard, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I did it all.
Yeah.
I legitimately did it all. But here's the difference. Had I not partaked in any of those activities when I was younger, like Joe's age, let's say, the fun I would be having right now would be dramatically different. Like, it's cool to go down the shore and hang out at a club or a bar. It's a lot more cool to hang out on your yacht and enjoy the summer that way, or your shore home or your vacation home. So delayed gratification is huge. Don't think you're not going to have fun if you're busting your ass. Trust me. When you get to that end goal, it's a lot of fun.
Let's talk about delayed gratification, because I've talked about that to some of my friends, and they're kind of confused on what it means.
I don't know how graphic can we get with this.
However much you want.
All right. This is more geared towards boys or girls or men or
Everybody.
women? I'm trying to think of how I could make a PG version of this for everyone. All right. I'll make this for the mostly women in general, gentlemen out there, but mostly for the gentlemen because, you're a young man and we can speak on a certain level. When you're chasing a girl, right?
Yeah.
If you meet this girl and you guys just met at a party and she sleeps with you right away, are you as interested in her from that point on?
Generally,
maybe, typically, probably not, right?
Yeah.
If this girl makes you wait, and when I say wait, I mean everyone should respect everyone's body, but if she's has great conversation with you, rather than jumping right into bed with you, and then you go on a date, doesn't even try and kiss you, then you go on another date, then you go on a picnic, then you go for a walk. You're really getting to know this girl, and you're delaying the ultimate goal of what you have, which is, a sexual experience. I guarantee you that once you put the time in with that female, the meaningfulness of that sexual experience with her will far outweigh the first one-night stand that you had if she wouldn't do that with you. Right? Yeah. That is a good example for delayed gratification that you can show your friends. They probably won't learn that for a little while because of how hypersexual the world is right now. And another thing is, if you delayed gratification, you want a brand new car. This one goes for everyone. So you take out a loan, and you really can afford the car, but you want a car instantly, right? So you figure out a way to make the finances work some way for you, and you get like a Honda Accord, which isn't a bad car. Honda Accord, great. If you were to delay the gratification to get a new car, maybe buy a used car. Get a used one, a couple years old, maybe a little beat up, and it only costs you a couple $1,000s, let's say. And all the extra money you had to put down in the car, you save and invest. Now it compounds. And now you're not paying a $400 a month car payment. You're paying a $200 a month car payment. Or your car's completely paid off, so you have no car payment. In 5 years from now, that car will probably still be running. It's a decent car. That money you invested had accrued enough interest already. It was able to work for you and make you some more money. Plus, you're more valuable in the workplace you're at because you have more skills. You should be making more money than you were 5 years prior. If you delay that gratification, now you can afford something nice and not really have it hurt your bank account. Right? But that money you wasted on the car is not working for you anymore. You have no access to those funds because you're using it in a car, which is depreciating in value anyway. So delay that gratification because I would much rather drive a BMW or a Mercedes than a 10-year-old Honda Accord.
Definitely.
But the purpose of both vehicles truly are the same. They both get you to where you got to go. And if you just waited a little while, you would have the car that gets you there a little more comfortably. Is that did that help out at all?
Yeah. How I like to implement it into my day-to-day life is when I just have a moment to myself, I'm like where I could just go on my phone. I try not to because it's kind of like on a Saturday night when you realize that you got some homework that you got to do. And that's always in the back of your mind. And if you just did your homework before, you'd really be able to enjoy that moment further on in time a lot more than you would have if you just did not do the homework.
It's just procrastination.
Yeah.
Just when you have something, just do it. Just get it done. Here's what happens. If you have a task that's important and you don't do it, then it becomes urgent, right? And then you become stressed. If something's important, like you have to get it done, no matter what it is, if you have to do it eventually, just do it, right? Because then when you do have something urgent, and now you have something important and urgent, and then everything falls into your urgent bucket, you're super stressed. And then you just don't know what to do with it, and now you need a break because you're too stressed. When you have something to do and you know it has to get done, and you have time to do it right now, just get it done.
Yeah.
But everyone does that. No one follows that rule. It's super important to understand things that are urgent and things that are important. If you don't take care of things that are important, eventually they become urgent and important. There's a great book by The Art of Getting Things Done by David Allen. And he has a whole system of getting things done and where you put them in. And you have an inbox of things. So every morning, for busy people, take a look at all the things you have to get done. What's actually important and what's going to help me get to my next level? What's going to help me get to my goal? And if it's not important, then put it to someday maybe. Like, all right, cool. Like I don't need to do this. If it needs to get done, but it's not like you don't really have to do it, then delegate it. If it's important, get it done. If it's less than 2 minutes, get it done right now.
Yeah.
If it's going to take you a little longer than 2 minutes, then schedule it right then and there. So Tuesday at 3:00, that's when I'm doing this particular task. Done. It's scheduled. It's in there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if it's urgent and very important, you got a phone call and someone's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Go. You got to go. You get that done. That's urgent. But now, here's the deal. If you kept putting off your oil change in your car, which is important, and you had a half hour, you could run to like wherever you get it changed at, you neglected it. Next week, neglected it. A month goes by. 2 months go by. You might need new tires. So you'll get them later. You get that call, that urgent call to get to the hospital, to get a loved one in the hospital, and meet them there. What happens? Your engine breaks down because you never changed your oil. You got a flat tire because you never changed your tires. You didn't keep up with the important things in life, and now they become important and urgent, and now you have something truly urgent, and the other thing you didn't do is affecting that.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important. And if you could figure out how to program your brain to take care of the things that are important right away, they really won't become urgent and important unless they start that way. And then that takes away 90% of your stress. And think of all the time you have free now from that, that you could do that work-life balance. That you can go snowboarding or you can go a weekend trip down the shore and you're not stressed because everything you had to get done is done.
Yeah. You already worked hard.
Yeah. So procrastination is something that a lot of people do, especially when it comes to the phone. And the phones are designed to take your attention because they want to keep you, like these platforms want to keep you engaged for a long enough time because then you could view more ads and they can make more money. And there's nothing wrong with a company being profitable, right? If you look at magazines back in the day, I'm not sure, are you old enough for magazines? Like, did you have magazines? Like, did you flip through magazines? Kind of.
At the dentist office.
Yeah. Okay. So magazines were really just a big advertisement that had a few articles in it.
Yeah.
Like towards the end days of magazines when they got real popular, all they were big ads. And now social media is kind of going towards the same thing. Here's the deal. Clean out what it is that you're watching. Who do you follow? Are they adding value to your life?
Yeah.
Right? So if you're going to sit there and be engaged on social media and get a little break from your work, why not follow someone who's going to give you advice or help you out or give you workout tips, nutrition tips, things that you're into?
Get you closer to your goal.
Yes. And I think a lot of people just need to go through and unfollow.
Yeah.
Especially those girls twerking. I've seen them on your Instagram before.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking that, like, the other day I was just, like, scrolling, just look at my phone, girl's ass is there, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at it. Like, I just want to, like, do what I have to do, and that's just a distraction.
Here's the crazy thing. There's so much attention geared towards that, and so many people spend time on that it's your whole algorithm. And you just want to chill and watch someone do a cool workout, and then that jumps in your face.
Yeah.
It's so difficult now. I couldn't imagine being his age, right? And dealing with all of this sexualization in your face. And honestly, it's just a big distraction.
Yeah.
It's meant to lock you in these platforms. And my whole business is built on social media. Like without social media, I would not be where I'm at today. The advertising aspect of it, being able to reach people, being able to communicate. This video is going to be on social media. There's a filter you need to do. And if you're not mature enough to be able to delegate that through your own scrolling, then go in there ahead of time and put a filter on it. Give it to someone you trust. Like, listen, go to one of your good friends that you trust. And that your age just probably sounds extremely weird. But hey, listen, here's my phone. Go through it. Put blocks on all my on all my accounts, my social media accounts, and put time limits on it for me. Don't give me the password.
Yeah.
So then it makes it so much more difficult for you. And that way, if there's ever an emergency, you got to take that off, but they can give it to you. But make sure that's your accountability partner. Like, no, dude, you didn't get your goal. You didn't get your goal yet. So make an agreement. Like me and you, let's say, make an agreement. All right, you come to me, Nick. I want to get my goal of 100,000 a year. I'm distracted by my phone. Can you please put a block on all my bullshit social media so I don't get stuck scrolling? I'll do that for you. Now you come to me in a month from now, I'm like, all right, take it off because I'm, for whatever reason, did you hit your goal? No, so I'm not taking it off. There's no really reason for you to have it.
Yeah.
So why would I take it off until you hit your goal? I wouldn't be a good mentor or a good partner if I gave you that password.
Yeah.
So there's the things you can do. There's a lot of things you can do to control your temptations as long as you have a good accountability partner. And another thing that you young kids watching this and whoever really, who are you hanging out with? Where are they going? What are their goals? If you're able to sit around with a group of guys or a group of girls or a group of friends or whoever, and you guys are all on the same page, like you all want to be successful, drive Ferraris, get yachts. No one has that right now. Why don't you find someone in your group who has some of that already? Who are they hanging out with?
Yeah.
Why don't you guys chip in on like a digital program that makes everyone better? Everyone puts in $200 and the program could be $1,000 and it's really impactful in your lives. And all of you watch it.
Yeah.
So all you're getting the same skill set and you guys are continually rising and raising your standards. The reason why a lot of people get into trouble is because their friends get in trouble and their peer group gets in trouble.
Yeah.
And the reason why, the people's net income at a particular party are about the same is because they hang out with each other. Very rare do you see someone who's broke hang out with someone who has a private jet, private yacht, 5 businesses. So proximity is power. And you have to raise your standards and make sure you're around people who you want to be like.
I think a very big problem is like the youth of today's generation has no goals and like doesn't even like think about stuff that we're talking about right now. Like they're not even thinking about how they can be better tomorrow. A lot of the people I know think about, all right, where am I getting drunk Friday night? How am I getting alcohol for Friday night? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dude, I was 18. I know exactly what you're saying. And the entrepreneurs are the ones who are getting the alcohol to sell to those motherfuckers. You have to understand, right now you think you're really young. You think 30 is old or you think 40 is old. Like, what's old to you? Like, am I old to you? I'm 43 for everyone watching. Not really. But do you think you're going to be 43? How quick do you think you're going to hit 43?
Pretty quick, probably.
Because I probably got in your head already.
Yeah, I mean, time flies.
When I was 18, a 43-year-old was ancient. Ancient to me, dude, when I was 18. I was like, that motherfucker is done. It's over. His life is over. I feel like I haven't even begun to make an impact that I want to make yet. But from 18 to 40, like that.
Yeah.
It's once you look back on my life, you're gonna be like, a lot happened. But every year goes faster and faster. And I'll leave everyone with this because we're getting on 30 minutes now. I was in another podcast I was doing, and someone had asked me, "What's your goal? $1 million, $1 billion, whatever the number was, numerical value to that goal was." I was like, "No, absolutely not. Here's my goal, and one of my goals, I should say. Do you remember when you were like in 5th grade, and you would have summer vacation, and you would take a break between like 5th and 6th grade and like 7th and 8th grade? And do you remember playing outside and like hanging out with your friends? How long each day would last?"
Pretty long.
Long, right? Like summer was an eternity. Like you were amped to get back to school to see your friends again, right? No. I was always amped to go back to school for the first day. I hated school. I was not a good student. But I was excited to see everyone again and like talk about what I did that summer. Yeah. And like it was just how long those days would last were magnificent. My goal as an entrepreneur is to get back to that state of mind again where each one of my days is like that when I was 10 years old on summer vacation. I was just playing all day. I had no other responsibility. That was a beautiful thing. Yeah. Like just riding my bike to go to the river. Dude, it was fucking awesome. And that whole day lasted forever. It was like hours. Like you went to the park to play basketball. You guys were playing, laughing, talking shit. Like, that's what life is about. You know, I want to get back there again. Of course, still have all my businesses, but I want to be able to get there mentally where you're not stressed at all. You know, that's a goal of mine, and I'm close to it. I am going to be there soon. I know it because, you know, having kids was a really big impact on my life, and I wish I had done it sooner. But, you know, it let me be who I am, and if I can do that and play with my daughter and play with my son and like be able to just to hang out with them in the summertime and not have to be scheduled to go anywhere or go to work. Yeah. I still have huge dreams. I still have huge goals. And it's going to require a lot of my bandwidth, right? And maybe that goes back to your work-life balance. Like, my work life, like my life now is my kids. And if I have the ability to play with them, you know, but I structured my life for that. Yeah. I'm still giving people direction at, let's say, 5 in the morning till 7 in the morning until they get up. I'm on the computer working, delegating, make sure everyone's doing their job. Then I go play with them and then come back. The difference between entrepreneurs or successful business people are, they know how to work and play almost at the same time. So years ago, you would be successful and then you would kind of plateau, and then you stay here, and then you rise up and then you plateau, and then you rise up and you plateau. Nowadays, it's a constant uphill struggle to be successful. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards, right? It's just it's the way the landscape of business is today. You have to learn to chill on the incline. So I might be on a vacation with my family. I'm never checking out. I'm enjoying my family for what they are. I'm still playing like I am at summertime. Yeah. But I'm making sure everyone on my team is doing what they're doing so I can enjoy that time. Yeah. And when it comes, like right now, when my team needs a vacation or they have to go away somewhere, I pick up their role. And then I'm back in the trenches again for a little while. You know, there's going to come a point in time when I don't need to do that anymore. But as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, like this is kind of where you're going with that podcast, or I'm not sure exactly the direction, you have to understand that there's no time out. Like, your work-life balance is done. You have to learn how to chill as you're climbing the business and the success.
And one thing that relates to that is you got to, on a base level, enjoy what you do or enjoy what you're working for and what your goal is. Because if you're not motivated and you don't like what you do, there's no way that you could just do it for such long periods of time and enjoy it the way that you would something like this. Like, I genuinely enjoy this.
I'm going to change your view on that just a touch. Okay. You have to enjoy the outcome. Yeah. Right? You have to enjoy the result. Some people don't enjoy doing squats. Some people don't enjoy the gym, but they also don't enjoy having heart attacks. Yeah. You know, you have to be good at telling yourself, love this. Yeah. You know, like Goggins. Yeah. He doesn't fucking want to run. He didn't want to do pull-ups. He wanted to break the world record. That was his result. He fucking hated doing pull-ups. But the end result is what drove him. Yeah. So you have to be in love with the result, to be in love with the process, because the transformation happens in the process. Yeah. There's a great book. It's called So Good They Can't Ignore You. By, I think, Cal Newton wrote that book. Get it if for anyone watching this video and you're confused at where you want to go in life, or you're thinking about making a career move or a change. The basic premise of the book is it's called career capital. Be so good at something that no one can ignore you. And I'll just give you a quick synopsis of the book. For an example, there was a woman who was a great accountant, and she loved yoga, you know, and she wanted to open a yoga studio. And there was another woman who was a great accountant, and she also loved yoga. One woman quit her job as an accountant, opened up a yoga studio, knew nothing about business, knew nothing about how to run a studio, knew nothing about marketing, opened a yoga studio and failed. Lost her whole income, lost her net worth, everything, lost her savings, all that stuff. The other woman, and I could be messing this up for anyone who read the book, but this is like a basic principle of it. The other woman was a great accountant, was able to create some kind of software that automated her job that she could now create an income from because she's so good at accounting. Yeah. Now has enough freedom because of that extra income, because she's so good at being an accountant, to do yoga on the side. Now, the one lady hates yoga because it failed her and she started a business and it became too much for her. She lost her passion for it. The other one still loves yoga and just does these retreats, or maybe, I don't know, has a YouTube channel for it. Yeah. But she focused on what she was so good at, right? They couldn't ignore her at her job. She was able to acquire the freedom to do what she really loved. Yeah. So it's important to, like, if you're good at something, don't turn your back on it. Yeah. Like, some people, like actors, are really good at acting, but then they have a band on the side that they do. Had they started a band first to be a rock star, they would have failed. Yeah. Right? But they leveraged up on their acting skills. They made a lot of money acting. Now they have a band. It doesn't matter if they're good or not. They're doing something they love, and the money's coming from something else. Like if you have a bagel store, you might hate bagels, but it runs in your family. Run it really good, delegate people to do it, and then you open up your gym.
Yeah.
And then you get really good at that. So it's important, like you said, to have passion, but also be good at it.
Yeah.
You can be passionate about basketball, but if you suck at basketball and you're 5'4", more than likely I wouldn't put too much attention towards it. Yeah. But you could be a good coach, and so you're still involved in basketball.
All right.
What else you got, Joe?
You want to keep going? All right.
No, I mean, what else you got in terms of life? You keep going, but
What do you mean?
like, how can people find you? What else you have? What else are you gonna do here for them?
Uh,
What else? What value are they gonna get from watching, subscribing? Like, why should they subscribe to your channel right now? And if this is on my channel, make sure you subscribe. But this is gonna go on both of ours. So
You should subscribe to me because I will add value to your life by making you more productive and by giving you inspiration with my own journey.
I like inspiration. That's good. All right, guys. How can they find you on Instagram?
You can find me on the Kiwi Effect on Instagram and the Kiwi Experience on Etsy if you want to support me.
How about YouTube?
Also, the Kiwi Effect on YouTube.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that name, the Kiwi Effect?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds like a good book.
Yeah.
You're gonna write a book?
We'll see.
Maybe. All right, guys. I'm at Nick Mirabella on Instagram. I'm also at Nick Mirabella on YouTube. I'm pretty sure. We'll put it down here in subtitles. My salon's The Warehouse. Show some love and support to them. That's where we're filming in one of our salon studios right now. Thank you so much for watching. Please support Joe. You know, it's so admirable to see a young man at his age actually want to take this entrepreneurial journey. And it's going to be a long, rough road. So I really hope this is his last video. And you're going to see a lot of growth from this young man. And when I started cutting his hair a while ago, probably like a year ago, he was asking me such great questions, and he like has these books, and he's in the right direction. It's a really tough thing to be an entrepreneur, especially at his age. Everyone thinks it's fun. It's a big party, and he's seen firsthand it is not a party.
It ain't easy either.
No, you know there's a lot of ups and downs in this, and it's really lonely a lot of times. You know, so it's just to give you a heads up. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not what you see on the Instagrams and the YouTubes and not Ferraris. It is a lot of tears, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of crying, being alone a lot, people not understanding you, you know, arguments with your loved ones, your closest loved ones saying that you're crazy. You shouldn't do that. Wow, who's going to pay you? And don't forget, you don't have a paycheck. Like you haven't really had a paycheck.
I had one check.
A couple of them, right? But you sold some stuff online now, but
Yeah.
like if you don't make money, if you're not successful at being an entrepreneur, nobody puts food on your table but you.
Yeah.
There's no paycheck. So get ready for that. Get ready for putting all your life savings up for something and maybe having it not work out for you and starting from scratch again. How to do that a couple times. All right. So anyone watching out there, you can learn a lot from this young man. He's going to be hopefully doing big things. And if he's not, then he's not going to hang out with me too much longer. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Really, please make sure you subscribe to his channel. Stay connected to his journey. So if you don't see anything on his channel, message me. I'll get on his case. All right, guys. I'll see you later.